Most of us sit down to a meal and just eat. We chew, we swallow, and we move on. We remain largely blind to the microscopic collisions happening in our bloodstream the second that food lands. Ignoring this process results in a heavy metabolic toll. That sudden 2 p.m. brain fog is the outward symptom of internal glucose volatility, a jagged cycle of spikes and crashes that over time creates the compounding cellular damage that accelerates physical aging. Popular advice suggests the fix is simple: eat less, shrink your portions, count your calories, and starve the problem. But deprivation is a flawed strategy that ignores how your body actually functions. Food functions as biological data. Every bite you take is a line of chemical code, delivering strict instructions to your cells to either build, repair, or decay. You don't need to restrict, you need to defend. By running a deliberate 3-step protocol, you can actively filter that incoming code and optimize your biological output. Shifting from a passive consumer to an active metabolic architect allows you to seize control. You stabilize your daily energy and halt the mechanisms of premature cellular aging. Step 1 targets the immediate aftermath of a meal. The moment carbs hit your digestive tract, they break down and rush into your system. This graph tracks blood glucose. Without a buffer, carbs flood the bloodstream, causing a sharp spike. But by applying the 5-to-1 rule, we see a smooth curve. For every 5 grams of carbs, you need 1 gram of fiber as a biological buffer. Fiber acts as a structural net in the gut. It creates a dense biological mesh that physically slows down the rate sugars are absorbed. Because the glucose enters the system gradually, the body produces a measured, safely flattened insulin response. This stable insulin level prevents the severe post-meal energy crash. Your focus remains highly consistent rather than dropping off a cliff. Flattening this curve also suppresses the body's fat storage signaling. Instead of hoarding energy, your cells stay in a state where they effectively burn fuel. Managing this precise mathematical ratio turns a potentially heavy meal into a stable, long-lasting energy source. This diagram shows what happens when high heat is applied to healthy molecular collagen. Intense charring creates advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Under this heat, the collagen's structural integrity fails. Over time, these AGEs cause vascular walls to stiffen and structural tissues to degrade, accelerating the aging of your skin and arteries. Adopting low-temperature cooking methods like poaching or steaming creates a vital defensive shield. It is a necessary choice to preserve your body's structural integrity over the decades. The final stage of metabolic defense shifts focus to long-term cellular signaling through plant pigments. The vibrant reds, the deep purples, and dark greens signal the presence of polyphenols, highly functional chemical codes. This flowchart maps 3 plant colors to their cellular pathways. To activate these systems, you must ingest 3 different colored foods daily. Once digested, these polyphenols dock with specific receptors, triggering the activation of the corresponding pathways. When these pathways are unlocked, the cell initiates critical DNA repair sequences, fixing the microscopic errors that occur during daily life. This process also triggers the mass neutralization of oxidative stress, clearing out the chemical byproducts that would otherwise damage your cells. Curating a varied color palette on your plate is a targeted deployment of cellular repair agents, ensuring your long-term biological resilience. When you combine the 5-to-1 ratio, precise temperature control, and the 3-color polyphenol matrix, you create a synergistic defense for your metabolism. Your daily energy capacity and the rate of your biological aging are malleable variables, heavily influenced by the metabolic signals you send through your daily habits. Stop eating passively. View your plate as a biological command center and actively architect your metabolic code for peak performance.